Good morning, guys. Actually, I think it's afternoon. This is Sheila from Life with Pets. I thought that I would do a Christmas live stream. It has been a while. I said I'd do some through the month of December, and unfortunately, this is the first one that I've done. So if you just bear with me, I'm just going to try and get up the chat over on here. Okay, I think I've got it. Can you see and hear me okay? Our internet appears to be running a little slow, so if you could just let me know if you can hear me okay and see me okay, that would be very helpful. Good morning, Sandy. It's good, thank you very much. Unfortunately, on my computer, the chat isn't coming through, so just let me see if I can figure this out. Alright, so Sandy says it's good, and darkness_0091 said it's good as well. A little bit blurry, but good. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm on my iPad today, so the quality is not going to be quite as good as usual. I usually do it on my computer, but I wasn't able to do that today. So, good morning. Chris says, good morning. How are you doing? I am doing well. Yes, I'm doing well. I'm all ready for Christmas. How about you guys? We're all set up, trees done, everything's done. So yeah. So I thought that I would just come on and do a quick live stream today. Hi from Romania. Wow. Okay. So let me know in the comments box how you guys celebrate Christmas. What do you do? Where do you go? Do you stay at home? Are you with family? Let me know what you do. Ella says, how are your betas? They are doing well. The only one that isn't doing too well right now is Blaze. For those of you that remember, he is the one that is like the orange, and we had issues with him when we first got him. And then he seemed to be doing really well, but now he's really sick right now. We've done different treatments, but unfortunately at the moment anyway, nothing is working, so not looking good for him at all. Alright, so I'm going to be doing the comments from down here because on the iPad they go really quickly, so I'm going to do them on here. So alright, so family, visit family. Going skiing. Wow, that is really cool. My son actually this is the first year my husband and I are without our son home for Christmas. He has gone away for Christmas, and he actually went skiing for the first time a few days ago in Tennessee. So he had a great time doing that. So yeah, so this is our first time being on our own for Christmas. So it's going to be a little different, I think, for us this year. All right. Hi from Germany. Why aren't you still breeding guppies? Why aren't we still breeding guppies? I just found that obviously with all the babies and then shipping them out and all that sort of thing, because we ended up with a really good strain of guppies, we had so many people wanting them. And so we found that we were shipping them all the time, and I don't know what it is. I'm okay shipping snails. I have no issue with snails. We have a really high success rate with those, whereas with the fish, I just would get so stressed out shipping them. So we just decided that we were going to finish with that. It might be something we revisit in the future, and then maybe just take them to our local store instead. But at the moment, we decided that for us, it was just easier and a lot less work to not have them. So yeah, that was why we did it. Hey Candy, thank you so much for joining and of course moderating. Merry Christmas to you and your family as well. Much love from Lebanon. My goodness, that's a long way away. Can you get an axolotl? No, they're not particularly my thing. I don't dislike them, but they're not something that I would take up a tank for, let's put it that way. Our tank space is very limited, so with an axolotl, obviously you have to have a designated tank, and that's just not something that I'm willing to do. Are you thinking of getting any other live bearers? Not at this point, no. We are thinking of upgrading our 75-gallon to a 125-gallon, and I'm not sure right now what extra fish we're going to put in it, but that is something that we are thinking of at this point. All right. Can a male betta live with blue shrimp? Our bettas do live with cherry shrimp. I don't think it's something I would particularly recommend. You do need to be willing to lose a few if you have a betta who loves to hunt them. There's no way they'll survive if your tank is not extremely heavily planted and there's lots of places for the shrimp to hide. If you've got a very docile betta fish, then you may get away with it, but otherwise it's going to be something that I would say try it if you want to try it, but obviously you've got to be willing to lose the shrimp. All right, where are we? I recently had a problem with my Harlequin rasboras. The stomach of 2 of the fish were sunken in and they had trouble swimming and they died. Do you know the reason? No, I could hazard a guess, but no, I don't know the reason. I would say probably make sure your water parameters are okay. Also, are they getting enough food? And was it possible that they maybe had some sort of parasites, internal ones, that when they were eating, that they weren't actually getting the food, that the parasites were getting it instead? Oh, JH Aquatics is here. Hello. I don't think I've ever seen you on one of our live streams. I might be wrong, but I don't think I have. Okay, hi from Liverpool. Ah, okay, Liverpool. Good vibes. I'm from Liverpool, actually, in the UK as well. So, would you breed blue shrimp? I have thought about bringing other shrimp in. Right now we do the cherry shrimp, as everyone knows, and I have thought about other types of shrimp, and blue is actually one of them. I also like the, I think it's the, is it Taiwan bee? I quite like those as well. I really like the look of those. Alright, where are we? Oh, it keeps jumping. Okay, can betta fish live with crayfish? I would say no. No, not if you want the betta fish to survive. I would say no. Let me see. Would it be okay if the tank has dwarf hairgrass, rhotola, and a piece of driftwood with Java moss, boos? I'm assuming we're still on the shrimp, and if that's the case, then potentially yes. Like I say, there's no, where betta fish are concerned, there's no guarantees. We do have shrimp in most of our tanks, and they are flourishing in those tanks, but they are very heavily planted. And by that I mean the plants go all the way up to the waterline. If they're not up to the waterline and the shrimp are up there and obviously betta fish are swimming around, then they are going to hunt them. Sometimes I do think having shrimp in a tank can be a good source of enrichment for a betta fish, but at the same time obviously you've got to be willing to lose the shrimp. Our shrimp breed like crazy, so if our betta fish are picking them off or killing them, then they're obviously not doing it at a very large rate, because like I say, we have a shrimp explosion right now. So, oh, Amber's here. Hello, Amber. Merry Christmas to you. We need to get together, girl. We need to get together. All right, what beginner plants do you recommend? Okay, my favorites are Anubias. I also like Anacharis. I think that one's a good one. The frogbit, floating plant, that is another good one. A lot of people say Java fern. I've never had success with Java fern. No idea why, but I haven't. So I would say that based on what a lot of other people recommend, Java fern as well. Bacopa is another easy one. There is so many. If you do a search online, you will find there are loads of them. All our plants, I would say, are beginner plants. Cripwenti, that's another one. I absolutely love that plant. And I wouldn't say that I'm an expert in plants at all. Our planted tanks do look really good, but quite honestly, all we do is put root tabs in and do water changes. That's about it. So I can't really say that we do anything special or anything like that to keep them going. They just survive. All right, oh, that one jumped up. What is your favorite tank you have right now? Ooh, can I have 3 favorites? I'm gonna have 3 favorites. I would say our divided tank. I love the way that one looks. It's Very, very heavily planted right now. The guppy grass is going crazy when we did it like through the holes. It needs trimming yet again. Our 20 gallon long that has jasmine in, absolutely love that tank. Very, very easy one to take care of. And then our 75 gallon, that one is probably nearing the top, I guess, but that one doesn't have beta fish in, so don't hold that against me. All right, let's see. I keep forgetting to text you back. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. Next week will be a good week, Amber. All right. Would you buy a bigger aquarium for a New Year resolution? I don't know about for a New Year's resolution, but like I said, we are planning on looking into upgrading our 75 to 125 gallon. We used to have a 120 gallon years ago, and that's the biggest we've ever done. But we feel that for the bala sharks, they are growing so quickly. I'm actually going to do an update video on that tank. I'm going to film it today and it'll go out some point this next week. And the rate that they are growing is crazy. I was told they were quite slow growing, but that is definitely not the case for us. So we are going to look into a 125 gallon. So PetSmart, we need some really good sales so we can get a 125 gallon. Where are we? What do your family think of your hobby? I am very fortunate in that my family are all part of the hobby. They all love it as much as we do. My son often moderates. He's the one that actually predominantly makes the dividers that we sell. And then my husband, he always helps. As you see very often, you know, I get accused of having very man hands, and they're not my hands, they're my husband's hands. So he is often in a lot of the videos, and he often comes up with a lot of the projects we do as well. So life with pets is very much a family concern by far. So I am very, very fortunate in that respect. So they love it as much as I do. I'm just the face. All right. Okay, I'm thinking of heavily planting my 20 gallon and getting cherry shrimp, maybe for breeding, and I was wondering if I could keep a beta with them. Would that be okay, or would the beta eat the shrimp babies? They would for sure eat some of the babies. However, our 20 gallon long that has jasmine in and it's got the rummy nose tetras in, we breed shrimp like crazy in there, and we have an explosion like in most of our tanks with the cherry shrimp. So I would say it can be done, but that tank is extremely heavily planted. So I would say that people's idea of heavily planted, I think, are very different. You know, I will say to somebody, is your tank heavily planted? And they say, oh yes, and they'll send me a picture and there's like 2 plants in it. That's not heavily planted. Heavily planted is you have plants sort of right the way through the tank, all the way up to the water line of the tank. That is heavily planted. So if it's really heavily planted, then yes, you may get away with it. But as I've said, you do need to be aware of some fatalities because it will happen. Merry Christmas to you and your boys. Thank you, Amber. Actually, let me know in the comments who is planning on going to Aquachella in Dallas at the end of March. I'd be interested to know who's planning on going. I have just booked my hotel, so I am going. And to my knowledge, Amber from Big City Betas is going as well. So just let me know in the comments who's going. All right. Oh, Susan. Hello, Susan. It's good to see you in here as well. Hello from Singapore. All right. Was given a 30 gallon sorority with 10 betas. After cleaning and doing water changes, I have 5 males, 5 females. They all get along, no fighting. Is this normal and is this good? Oh, where do I start? Amber, do you want to chime in on this one as well? I would say that give it time. Unfortunately, males and females living together, whilst there are videos, I've talked about this quite a few times, and I don't know if you've recently seen my video on beta sororities. My opinion has greatly changed, especially when it comes to females living together, but I have an even stronger view on males and females living together. And I would just say that over time, it's just not going to work out. I know that there are some videos on YouTube where people are saying, oh, we've done it, but then if you watch their follow-up videos and actually dig deeper, it didn't work out, and they just didn't go back and say it didn't. It just all fell apart. So if I were you, if at all possible, I would look into being able to at least separate the males and females at the very least. If you can separate the females as well, then go ahead and do that, but I would definitely get the males out of there. Whilst it may be working now, it will only be a matter of time before it doesn't. And very often it can look like something's working, but you've got to look at the fish, the way they're posturing, you've got to look for stress stripes, you've got to look for sort of like, you know, fins being nipped and things like that. And I do personally feel, I hope I'm wrong for your sake if you can't separate them, but I do personally feel it is going to only be a matter of time. Good morning to you, Crystal. All right, let me see. Oh, Kayla says, happy holidays. Glad I made it for a live vid for once. Yes, I was going to do one a few days ago, and then the weather was so bad that I couldn't. We ended up with, for those of you that follow me on Instagram, you probably saw it, but we ended up with flooding, and it was just so noisy in the house with all the rain, so I couldn't do it then. And then we were talking about doing it last night, but we just never got round to it, so here we are. Oh, Amber, you are going to be there? That's great. The girls are taking over the expos this year. Yes, let's hope so. Let's hope so. All right. Cold here. Well, also I just woke up, so haven't been outside editing last night's video. Yeah, it's actually cold here in Florida as well. People laugh when we say it's cold in Florida, but it actually does get cold in Florida. Not very often, but I think today it is about 58 is the high, and then the low is going to be in the 40s, which for Florida is cold. So I am all wrapped up in a shirt today because the house is actually really cold as well. We have had a lot of shrimp questions today. Okay, do you keep shrimp in your fish tanks? Yes, we do. We have, I think we've got shrimp in most of our tanks now. And I wouldn't say I would particularly recommend it. As I keep saying, if you're not willing to lose a few, that is what I would say, especially if it's with beta fish. For sure, you will lose some. Okay, I checked your website and saw that you're out of stock on cherry shrimp. I'm wondering when you will get some more. We actually do have loads ready to go, but right now we're not going to be shipping over like the Christmas week and the New Year week, because we do find that there's a lot of delays. So when I, oh, my picture's frozen. Can you still hear and see me okay, guys? Because everything has frozen at this end. I don't know if it's still running or not, or whether it's just my device. You can hear me. Is the picture still frozen? It has frozen, yeah. I suspect we've got an issue going on with our internet, so we should have reset it, I think, maybe before trying this. Okay, well, let's hope it unfreezes. Audio is good, video is frozen. Not the most flattering picture it's frozen on either, I have to say. So, Joseph, could you try that refreshing and see if it does come back? I can't refresh on the iPad, unfortunately. If I refresh, I'm going to lose it all. Yeah, I can't do that, Susan, unfortunately. Thank you, Candy. Yeah, I can't do that because I'm on the iPad, then it doesn't work the same. I'm actually doing it through the app on YouTube. Maybe I should have done it through the internet on YouTube, but I did it through the app, so I actually can't refresh it. So I am not sure what to do, whether just to continue. This is a bit like Corey's the other night. Corey's camera went out completely the other night, so it became like a podcast live stream. So I guess this is going to be the same sort of thing. So let's hope it comes back, although I suspect it won't if it's stopped at this point. So I think, guys, I'm going to end it here. I'm going to end it short. I'm sorry about that. I might try and next, what's that, new time, stream time, lol, I just panic when text stuff goes wrong. Yeah, I don't like it when things go wrong either, especially when it's frozen, because playback on this would be terrible. I tell you what, guys, I'm going to end it on this one, and then I will try and go do it through the internet. If it won't do it, then I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas and a very happy new year, but we are planning on a live stream next week and as well. So I'm going to end here, and I will try it again, see if I can